Michael, nice to see you. Big week, or big, I was going to say week, but big few days for your team. How do you approach one of the form teams in the country, Aston Villa, and then 3 days off the back of it, Chelsea, coming to your own patch?
Yeah, big challenge for us. I think it's great though. You know, it's fantastic. We got to enjoy the challenge. For me, you want to play against the best teams and best players individually and as a group. And listen, Aston Villa having an unbelievable season so far, and got some really good players and obviously well coached. So it's a big challenge, but it's great. You know, it's a one-off game for us, this one, and we can give it our best, see what it takes us. Football's funny at times; it throws up results that maybe shouldn't happen. You know, we know that this is one that probably shouldn't go our way on paper, but we'll do our best to try and flip that.
You've had such a hectic festive fixture schedule, and I suppose even going back towards the end of November, I think it's 11 matches in 36 days. Are you at a stage where you need a rest, you need a break? You probably could have done without two teams of the magnitude that are set to come here.
Plenty of rest in June. Don't worry about it. No, I've got no problem, obviously, with the amount of games. I think to be successful or to go further in competitions, you've got to play extra games, and it's great. That's what we want, you know. And so being further forward in cup competitions is for me is a real plus. The thing that's made it a little bit more challenging, obviously, is the amount of injuries we've had and players that we've not been able to choose from, which means the boys that have played have been pushed that little bit harder. But as it stands now, you know, we've had a few days rest since the last one, and it's two good games to look forward to in isolation, really, and yeah, look forward to what we can do.
There's 11 or 12 players out between being injured, and of course you've got the African Cup of Nations as well. Is there a chance any of them might be back for this one on Saturday, or are you having to weigh up the fact you've got another huge game on Tuesday against Chelsea? You might need to save them for that.
Yeah, it's right. It's right in the balance, to be honest. I think there is boys coming back. Is it too soon? Is it not? Some boys have played an awful lot of football, and so yeah, we're right in the mix of trying to get that balance right. Taking this game as a one-off game and giving ourselves as big a chance as we can, because we're looking forward to it. We want to try and get it through, but there is games coming up as well. So it's a constant balance, which is fine. But hopefully we will have one or two back in and around the group. It's just how much they can be part of it is the question, really.
I think you said earlier in the week after the game on Monday that there was 4 players that should be back in training this week. Hackney, Latila, Crooks, and was it Force maybe?
Maybe a bit later.
So of those 3, are any of them got a chance on Saturday?
The back training, yeah, a little bit is that's the decision we're kind of making of what's each individually of where they're at. So hopefully they'll be part around it somehow, and it'll give the boys a bit of a boost and strengthen the squad a bit.
How pleased are you with the way they've dealt with everything that's come their way, given the injury problems you've had? And you've obviously picked up some good results over the last few weeks.
Yeah, we've had some good ones. We've had some mixed ones. I think all in all, if you had said to me, you know, after Christmas, from what we've kind of had to go through, we're here now. It kind of feels a bit like a fresh start, especially with the little almost a mid-season break. But we've got 2 games in the middle of the 2 cup competitions to then go after that. It feels that the way the group is and getting a couple back for the next league game, it feels almost like right, we're 4 points off the playoffs and we're going in the cup, and it's everything to play for, because when we get the next league game, then we can be excited to try and achieve something after that. So it's it is what we hope for more. Of course we would, but you know, for now it's quite exciting to know what's coming up and what we're capable of trying to achieve.
Just a couple more from me. Just looking at your bench on Monday against Country, I think you had one senior player on there. When you look at that, obviously you say you've got a few lads coming back. What does that mean in terms of the transfer window? Are you needing to add in January, and if so, to what extent?
Yeah, well, I think we're always looking to add. I think every club is. It's not always easy this time of year, but for sure we're always trying to improve anyway. There is the balance of not a knee-jerk one just because someone's out for a couple of weeks to try and get someone in. I think the bigger picture doesn't always fit in. And the fact that we have got players coming back we should have, and numbers wise, should be a lot stronger in the coming weeks. So yeah, we'll see how January develops.
And Wiley reported over the last 24 hours that you've got one in the building and trying to get it over the line in the shape of Finn Azaz from, ironically, Aston Villa. Anything you can tell us as to where that deal is?
Yeah, I can say it's close. It's not. We're still waiting on a few things to be finalised, but we're very hopeful of that'll happen pretty soon. Yeah.
And if that gets done, will he be able to play on Saturday?
He's available. Yeah.
Thanks, Michael.
In Aston Villa, high flying, so a great opportunity for you to see how much your squad has progressed.
Yeah, I think first and foremost for the freshness of the game, of a one-off game, for the players, for the club, for the supporters, and it's one of those games where you can really give your best and enjoy it, and there's for the players to test themselves against players who are obviously right at the top of their game and doing very well in the best league. So it's a great challenge for us, and it's one we can really get our teeth into and look forward to.
I mean, you have obviously a huge game on Tuesday night, and you've spoken about depleted resources here. So is there a temptation or pressure on you on Saturday to you're going to have to manage those resources carefully, aren't you, to protect your team for Tuesday night?
Of course, there's a constant one really where you're trying to get the balance right, but and understanding. Yeah, listen, we still want to try and win the game tomorrow. Tuesday is not the only game at the moment, so we have to get the balance right. There's some boys can play that can't play on Tuesday. Some boys that are coming back might get involved, might not get involved, and there's some boys, as I said, that might need a rest. That's the nature of it, but that doesn't mean we're not taking this game lightly at all. We're really looking forward to it, and Tuesday is that little bit further away at the moment.
I mean, Middlesbrough have special memories of a fantastic cup run 2 seasons ago, less special last season, but the FA Cup going on a run will mean something to Middlesbrough, won't it? Despite the fact that you've already had one cup run this season. Yeah,
it's magic. The cup has been good to me at certain times and given me some great memories and great moments, and of course, everyone in this draw right now is looking for a cup run and to have special memories. It's not possible for everybody. It's maybe easier for some to have a run than others. We're realistic. We know what we're up against, but it doesn't stop us from looking forward to trying to achieve.
Michael, thank you. Good luck.
Michael, what have you made of the job that Emery's done since he's come in at Villa?
Yeah, I think hugely respectful and full of admiration for it. I think the consistency of the results and the level of performances against obviously arguably some of the best teams around, that's put them in that bracket now of being one of the best teams around because they've been able to perform and get the results like that. So yeah, I think he's done a fantastic job.
I'm just looking at your experience in the FA Cup. How much has that, your experience as a player, how much does that help you as a manager to motivate a dressing room for these big games and to kind of get them in the right headspace, I suppose? Yeah,
I'll be honest, games like these take care of themselves in terms of motivation and for as a player, there's certain games that they might need a bit of help or guidance or a nudge in a certain direction, but when you get games like this, it takes care of itself. Great motivation, great enthusiasm, great energy towards the game, and the boys are really looking forward to it.
And I suppose the FA Cup as a competition, you look at some of the results, some of the draws it pulls up, you look at the early stages, what it means to the clubs further down the pyramid, you look at the derby that's happening up the A19 at the weekend. Do you still get the sense that players really appreciate the significance of the FA Cup in English football?
I'd hope so, yeah. I mean, I do personally. I think it's such a unique competition. It's got a certain magic about it. Cup competitions, that sense of achievement or big wins or big occasions, it's priceless. So I know, speaking to the boys here and me and the staff and the club, we treat it as serious and have that, that's the dream, isn't it? And the supporters can dream and hope and come and look forward to the game and see what we can achieve together.
That's great. Thanks, Michael.
Yeah. Michael, your old teammate Wayne Rooney lost his job earlier this week. I mean, when you look what's happened to Wayne, Steven Gerrard and Frank Lampard, does that just show how tough it is even for elite players like you were yourself?
Yeah, of course it's not easy. It's challenging. I think player or no player, it almost it becomes irrelevant in some ways. You know, I think you're judged for how good or how successful you are, or what you're achieving in the role that you're in, and currently in this role, and the fact that I played a little bit and had some experience, yeah, it'll help, and hopefully it'll help me and to understand certain situations. But ultimately, the fact that I played a little bit, it's me sitting here now. The boys are playing tomorrow. I'm in a totally different role. It kind of in some ways becomes irrelevant. You know what's gone on in the past. It's about what's next.
Knowing Wayne as you do, would you expect him to bounce back from that and go straight back into that?
Yeah, for sure, yeah. I hope so, but yeah, for sure. I know Wayne well, and his character and the drive, and you know, you're saying about the player to manager, and as a person, but as a player, for what he've achieved and how he did it, and the level of motivation and the knowledge that he has, and his intelligence. I think he's a football natural, and hopefully he'll have many years and many successful years in the game of whatever he chooses to do next.
When you asked about Unai Emery earlier, I mean, in his first spell in England, he found it tough and ended up losing his job. Does that just go to show how difficult it is even for an experienced, successful manager? Yeah,
I think history shows that there's been some incredible managers that at certain points it hasn't quite gone to plan, and they've had a setback, and I think it's part of life, really. You know, it's certainly part of my playing career. It's, of the ups and downs, and some people remember you for the good days. There's plenty of days that not so good in there as well, and it's the same in this role now. You know, I think you can go and have a really good spell, and everything's great, and then a few results and questions and doubts, and that's the nature of what we're involved in, and I accept that. You got to be ready for the next challenge and keep trying to make that difference, really.
You said earlier the FA Cup have been good to you. You got the Youth Cup as well, didn't you, as a player? But most of your career, I suppose, you would have played in teams that have gone into these ties as favourites. How does the mindset have to change when you perhaps go in as an underdog?
Yeah, I think you've got to have the belief and the confidence that you can perform and perform well, and you're capable of winning the game, and that's the start. You know, you have to believe it. If you don't believe it, then you haven't got a chance. So, but yeah, be realistic. I think there's a way of that. There's a different mental test in some ways when you're the favourite and you're totally expected to win. Talking about the motivation before, and how do you have to motivate the players. Sometimes that can be the difference. So, but for us, it's a great opportunity. You know, it's for the players to test themselves and to have a game like that. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant, and hopefully they'll thrive and they'll take the game to another level again and use the experience to become better players and a better team.